able to still tell stories and, you know, really connect with people. Because at the end of the day, man, as we're talking about, like, storytelling is everything. You know, marketing, everybody has a story, from the man on the street without a home to the CEO, the billionaires. You can learn from any person that's on this earth.
100%.
I
had the pleasure of sitting across from a very creative individual that I recently came into contact with, and I'm so blessed to be able to say, hey, come on my show and sit down and have this conversation and be welcomed into that space. So I'll bring to you Mike B from Media Beyond Frames.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to this conversation. We kind of started already, but I want to make sure you guys understand who this person is and what they bring to the table. Please stay tuned, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment if you like. If you know this guy, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get to it.
Let's get it.
I see people all the time, and I think for a long time, I would see people and I would be so curious, but I didn't know how to appropriately interact with them and not make it weird or like transactional, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like exploit them or something. Especially when you got a camera in your hand.
Facts.
So for a long time I've been like, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just not gonna like, you know, like I see there's this lady down the street, and you know, I've always wanted to be a photographer and a cinematographer and things of that nature. I played with cameras, you know, growing up and stuff, but it was that piece that stopped me. It was like taking pictures of strangers. I felt like a pest, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So
100%. So I started off something similar, like photo walks. So me and a friend back home, I used to work at Apple. And we met there, and he was like, yeah, you want to come out on a photo walk? I was like, what is a photo walk? He was like, we're just going to go somewhere and take pictures. And we were in downtown Columbus, just walking up and down High Street, really wherever. We would just get out the car, take our cameras. And I remember seeing him like just walk up to random people and just take pictures, not ask him no questions and just keep on walking. I'm like, bro, don't you think it's kind of rude to take a picture of this person? Like, he was like, they don't care. And I was like, what do you mean they don't care? He was like, people don't care. If they care, they'll say something. And that for me was just kind of like, not really, I still didn't really buy into the whole aspect. Like I try to like ask people. I would try to just capture a scene though. So if people are walking past, or long story short, eventually I'm at the point now to where I've been doing this for so long to where I just interact with people. And I think it's a good, like everybody wants to be, most people I should say, want to be on camera. They kind of have the energy to where they show like, yo, yeah, I want to tell my story just like today. Right, people want to tell their story. And it's like, what I've just grown the muscle to do is just talk to people. Like, hey, you mind if I take this picture? You look, you know, oh, I like the way your look is dope, or that's a dope shirt, or that's a dope hat, or, you know, you have a nice smile. I get a picture of you smiling, or, you know, let me do this quick 1, 2, 3 thing, and then just take the image. And like that whole element, I feel like there's the process of just getting comfortable with yourself as a creative to know that once you step into that space that you have a gift. Right? And like something to where I'm at now, I just feel like I know that my job is to storytell and create. So it's like when I see somebody or I tell a story or something like that, or I capture an image, it's just a part of who I am. And it's just, I want to tell that story in the most truest, and you know, I'm all about authenticity.
Absolutely.
Right? I feel like I'm rambling, but
no, you good.
But I feel like it's just one of those things to where like authentic moments, everything doesn't have to be just a portrait smile face that looks perfect. Like sometimes like you may be sad. Okay, let's capture that.
Let's capture that.
And it may not be me sitting right in front of your face, that's gonna feel awkward, but it may be from across the room where, you know, you may not realize that somebody's watching you, but it's like those moments, and then you show the person like, damn, that was fire. Like, how did you tell that story? And it's just like, I just was in that space in that moment. I seen you from across the room, kind of just like going through, you know, writing this pad, and you were just looking out the window or whatever the case may be. And I just felt that moment, you know, needed to be documented and stuff. So it's just in life subtleties when these moments happen. I always wanted somebody to like capture those moments of me just so I can like look back on it, because I know internally it's like, man, that would have been dope if that was captured. But it's like, it's just funny, man. Like life, there's so many moments where we just have to take and just like just honestly be grateful to God, because there's so many things that have happened in our past to propel us to who we are today. And we just have to learn how to honestly just be, be as present as we can and as grateful as we can, because we only get one time to do this. Like, not to say on something you only live once, but like life is a blessing, and it's our job to, not get caught up in the cause.
Let's get to it.
Machine. Let's get it. But appreciate you having me first off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I like we kind of touched on it, but because I have so many different lanes that I step in terms of where I could use somebody, the first interaction we had was me being like, I kind of want to use this guy for something that I'm doing. Seeing that we met, actually, to go back to where we met, and that was at Scatter Joy with Taylor. And which was a super dope event.
It was.
Super dope. And I want to say a little bit before I get on you, I want to start by saying that event exposed me to something that I had. I told him this too. I said, being like, I write music too, right? So I have had this vision of writing, or not writing, but rather planning a listening party.
Thanks.
And I wanted to do a listening party. I'm like, okay, it got to be like this. And I was planning on doing it at the House 330 in the Lobos room, right? Because it got to be like, I was thinking like this whole, you know what I mean?
Word.
And going there and sitting in the way that they did it, I was like, oh, it ain't got to be that deep.
It doesn't.
It could just be, hey, come.
It can be a simple, clean concept to where it's just connecting with people. It's the people.
Yeah.
That's what it really is, man.
The conversation piece was super dope.
It was. It was. And the feedback loop was a dope experience. My first time being in a room like that. And, me and Taylor, we've been rocking together for a minute. We've been doing a lot of different stuff. But that was one of the first things that have been that was an intimate moment. I feel like. And I'm blessed that I get to hear a lot of music before it's released, but none of those tracks have I heard. And I was like, bro, like, these are crazy. And I'll be still running a lot of those back now. But it's just a blessing to be surrounded by people like him, Armand, and Mario. I feel like they really are those type of individuals that make you think more and make you more introspective and think about life, and just allow you to appreciate like that there's people out there that are as creative as they are. So definitely say, like, release them tracks, man. Like, let people into that door to really get to know who you are. Yeah. Because it's just going to, it creates, bridges to create more bonds with people, bro. I think that part's important.
I think that's a beautiful way to look at it, because, we hold on to the things that we create because we feel like there's going to be a level of judgment versus a level of connection. Yeah. But I want to take a moment to go back in time with you. Yeah. I think we all want to be creatives. Yeah. I wrote a manuscript that I haven't published yet, but it's called The Obsession of Expression. And it's about the idea that we are all obsessed with expression in a way, right? So I've had people come to me and be like, I'm not creative, or da-da-da. And I'm like, well, that's just the most untrue thing, because our creator is a creator, and if we're made in the image of the creator, then we're all right. Yeah. So we're all creative. We may express it differently. 100%. And so the manuscript essentially touches on, like, we're all obsessed with it. We just have to find the way that makes the most sense for what we're trying to articulate. Yep. So for you, it was a camera. It was storytelling. Where did that start before? Who was, Mike, before the camera, and then how did you find that to be your language?
So the person who introduced me to all this was my sister. Okay. She's no longer here anymore. God bless her soul. She's the one that literally taught me everything as I grew up. She was the one that would get in trouble to teach me, this is what happens when you get in trouble. It was hilarious. Like, so many things that she's done throughout our time together, where it's like I can even look back to today and I'm just like, she's still teaching me. And she passed when she was 22.
Wow, she was young.
22, 23. I'm 33 now. Okay. So it's like I've lived, 10 years past when she passed, but even at that age, I'm still learning from everything that she taught me. So she was the one that was into photography, cameras, and all these different things when I was younger, and I was just you know, another young black boy who liked playing basketball, who loved playing basketball. Like I was like, I'm gonna be the next LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, all of us think like that, right? And I feel like, well, I would say Jordan. I would say I was gonna be the next Jordan.
Yeah, right. At that time, yeah, it was Jordan for sure.
I'm an actor, so
or Kobe for that matter.
Or Kobe. I try to emulate my game after him a lot. But anyways, I was in the gym 24/7, and she was, you know, pre-era, before selfie, you know, phones and stuff with the front-facing camera and stuff like that. She had like this big camera she would always take pictures with and stuff. But she was a storyteller, you know. So for me, like I said, before all of it, I was just, you know, playing basketball, traveling all up and down, you know, Ohio, down the East Coast, playing AAU and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But after a little bit of time in college, I went to school for accounting.
Okay.
Definitely didn't go that route. Wasn't in my lane at all. I was like, but to go into that, the reason why I went into that was because I had an older cousin who was really successful in that field. And he was one of the first people in our family that I saw, like, you know, having success. So I was like, oh, if this is what he did to become successful, you know, we just follow what we know. And after some time, I was like, nah, that's not me. And then life happened, dealing with the loss of my sister. And then time, you know, went on, struggling, trying to figure out what it was. And I picked up a camera and started just getting online and trying to give people motivational speeches as a young person who hadn't really experienced anything. So that was a hilarious experience. Like, as I look back at it, I'm just like, bro, what were you doing? But I don't regret it, but I just laugh about it because it's just like, you know, as a young person, that was what I needed to do to like really open my eyes to all this. I had to tell my story to my, you know, that I had at that point. And as time went on, it was just, you know, growing and learning. And funnily enough, like, there were people that reached out to me and was like, hey, how do you do that? I want to, you know, can you record me telling my story? And that was really the first instance of me trying, like, getting a chance to, you know, document somebody else's story. And after that, I was like, well, let me actually, you know, go to school and learn about this stuff.
So what time period is this?
This was I want to say when I was about 23, 24.
Okay.
So that would have been in 2017, 16.
Okay.
So 2016, started to like learn a little bit more about this stuff, going to school, taking a couple courses. The school I was going to, I mean, not the school, the program I was in was like a graphic design program. Okay. And from there, they had like a photography course. They were saying, hey, try this out. You got to buy a camera and this, that, and the other. So I got my first camera. And then from that, like, just learning about how to technically do things, learning really the fundamentals of it all, opened my eyes to like, oh, I can translate these photography skills into video. And it taught me all about framing, composition, all of the technical stuff in order to, like, you know, make things look good. Right. And then from there, just the storyteller was always within me. Yeah. Like, that creative piece had always been within me. And so we get to the point to where we're doing those photo walks, right? And then taking that skill set and just growing it and building up on it. And one of the guys was like, how long you been doing this? And I'm like, since I started this class. And he was like, you have a nice eye. You have a natural talent at this. And I was like, oh, word. So just kept on, you know, growing with it, building with it. And right out of college, my wife, she had the opportunity for us to pretty much move to Seattle right out of college because she had a great opportunity for work and stuff. So we moved out there, and she was like, hey, instead of you going back working corporate, how about you, you know, build this thing up? You know, I can see you have a passion for it. So I was like, bet, cool. And I didn't know how to do anything. I was just like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. Yeah. And got out there. And the first month or two was like a little rough for me because I was like, bro, I don't know nobody. How I'm gonna build this, how I'm gonna do this. And she was like, you know, why don't you go try network? I was like, oh yeah, duh. So I had an opportunity from the photos that I was taking back here in Ohio. This organization reached out and was like, hey, we have these like kind of like a show and tell, like where people from all around the city have their family members come in to showcase their work and stuff like that. I went there to their event. And I met a lot of people there, just networking and talking to them. I met a music artist, and he was like, yo, I like your photos. Like, do you do videos? And I was like, yeah. Didn't really do videos, but I did them, you know, just from shooting myself and stuff. But he gave me a shot, and he was like, you know, at that point, that was my only client. So I'd be hitting him up every day like, hey, bro, you trying to get out there and shoot some stuff? Him not knowing. He was like, yeah, of course, why not?
Right.
So started shooting and made some really dope stuff. And then through that connection, met some more people, was shooting some videos for them. And then I started to like get a hang of it. Like, okay, every time you go into a space, not to be transactional, but there's somebody that needs what you can bring to the table, right? So I just started, you know, introducing myself and getting out there, talking to people, building the business, building my name up to where fast forward, like literally a year and a half later, I was like one of the better media people in the city.
Do you think that is, how do I frame this? So what I'm hearing is opportunity met preparation in a lot of ways, right?
Yep.
But you also had a gift, right? You were also talented, right? Naturally, you had an eye, which just not everybody does. Right. So how much of each of that ingredient, like what made that work for you?
You know, I think it was like my work study, right? I think a lot of ways when I went out there, nobody knew COVID was going to happen, obviously. But when COVID happened, basically to make that story short, her job was like, hey, y'all can work from home. And then they said, you can work from home from wherever a little bit of time later. So it was like, oh, shoot. We just had our daughter, our first child, and we didn't trust anybody. We weren't about to send her to no daycare or nothing. So he was like, we going back home.
I understand that.
For the support and everything. So we went back home, which was Columbus. And from that point, everything that I had learned to build up my name in Seattle, like I was like, I'm going to just basically duplicate the process. And fast forward to today, like the business is crazy because of just being genuine. And that's my number one thing. Like I'm always real. Like I'm never going to fake it because at the end of the day, like that was who I was, faking it when I was in the corporate world. Like had to put on, on the mask and not really be who you are.
Real code switching.
Hella code switching. Hella code switching. But that's the main thing, like that I never want to give that back. Like every time, I love the fact that now I work with people who look like me. I tell stories for people who look like me. And I'm able to do it really well. And I appreciate the fact that I can just be my authentic self when we have the conversations and we're trying to figure things out. If I don't know something, I'm a huge proponent of like the next time we meet, I will know how to do it. And man, like God has blessed me with that over life, and I think it just speaks to a lot of the people that I had growing up with. They all were hard workers, and I think that the city I grew up in, they don't give us opportunities. They really shun a lot of the people.
What city is this?
Small town called Lebanon.
Lebanon?
Yes.
Lebanon?
Lebanon, it's
in Ohio?
In Ohio, yeah.
I know Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So Lebanon, Ohio. You know where Kings Island is?
Yeah.
It's like the city right before Kings Island.
Okay.
So I grew up there, very white city, very white town, I should say.
Okay.
All of the black people that live in that city are literally family. There's maybe 5 to 6 different families who weren't a part of our family. So a lot of the people that grew up there, and even still to this day, it's just like if they don't get out of that city, they either end up dead or in jail. Like,
is it a poor city?
It's growing.
Okay.
But yes. Okay. Especially because it's very segregated. Like all of the black people live in a certain area, at least when I was growing up. I don't know how it's been now because I haven't been back in a long time. Because a lot of my family that was there, they've kind of moved out. Okay. At least the ones that, I'm really, connected with. But I still have some family there that's still, making it happen. I have some friends there that's still doing their thing and stuff. But after my sister and my grandparents passed, there wasn't really a huge need for me to still be in that space.
No, I get it, yeah.
Right? But I forget what I was saying. But yeah, coming back home, I was able to take the knowledge from Seattle and really just, network, get out there and meet people. And I didn't grow up in Columbus. So I had a great friend that, is my homie now, and we work and do a lot of projects together. He really opened the door to the cities to me, gave me an opportunity to work with somebody who was really big in the city. And then from there, like, because I knew what I was doing, they were impressed. So they were like, oh yeah, we want you to do all this stuff. And then you meet other people, it's like, hey, who created your stuff? They're like, oh, it might be. And it just grew and grew and grew to the point to where now it's like, hey, I can't do all this by myself. Yeah. I need a team of people who can, you know, take off the workload that it takes for me to do these things on my own. And as I see in the next 5 to 10 years, like, things are just going to continue to grow and get bigger. The goal is to, you know, definitely not take over, but have a really strong market share in Columbus, and then move outside of Columbus and beyond nationwide.
What do you want to do in terms of film-wise? Like, do you want to stay in certain spaces? Or?
Yeah, so ultimate thing is like movies, short films. Okay. I would love to reach a space to where the client work that I do, like, although I love doing that, God has always had the story that I'm supposed to tell, like, that is supposed to get out there. But in the past, when it was just me by myself, I realized, like, it wasn't the time yet, because I had so much other things to really build up and do. Because, as you know, filming anything is very expensive. Yeah. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of people to really do something right. Yeah. You know, it's very difficult as a one-man crew to do anything. Run a business, entrepreneurial business, like a creative business. I think a lot of creatives, like, they get their respect, but for what they have to do on the business side, people don't really understand, because we have to compartmentalize so many different things. My least favorite thing to do is send invoices, and like, even though it gets you paid, right? It's like, I hate doing that. I hate taking the time to, like, create proposals and all that stuff, but I have to do those things in order to, you know, feed the dream.
Yeah, I have a thought on that, right? Yep. So, I think a lot, if not most people that are in business feel similarly, right?
Yes.
But I think changing how we go about it, it's like, and I'm taking this, and I'm letting you know now, I'm taking this from Pastor Lavender, right? I'm not being funny because it's a church, but I do enjoy the way that they approach offering time. Yeah. They approach offering time like a celebration. It's a fun experience, right? It's like, it's offering time versus like, time to take the offering and everybody get out your wallets, right? It's a moment to give back that we can celebrate and be excited about. And so sending invoices, as far as like, especially with creative business, and like for me, like what some of my development work, I mean, we're talking about a lot of money, right? So when you're writing a proposal, you're like, you got to justify certain costs, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna ask you a couple for this amount of money, right? It's like, instead of approaching it like, you know, it's like, let's get to this money, you know? And then for everybody, it's a more exciting process because now we understand, like, okay, this is a moment where we can initiate. This is where things start to take place. And I only mention that because you said a lot. But
whole lot. I be yapping.
No, I do too. But I think the important part that I'm choosing to focus on with you is, as a creative business owner. Yeah. It is one of the most challenging things to separate the creativity and the business. And so finding a way to communicate both of those to someone, and even for yourself to kind of stay in that pocket is that's an art in and of itself. You know, so to make money and make good money from being a photographer or a cinematographer or whatever lane you choose, it's a challenge and it's always a risk, but then being able to do it successfully and consistently, that's a whole nother beast.
Man, it is.
So with that being said, you want to shoot short films. I think that somebody I think we all are looking at right now is in terms of film, right? Especially Black directors, is Ryan Coogler. Yep. Right. 100%. It was Jordan Peele, and then you know, at least in our like lifetime, seeing these people 100%. Come to fruition. What do you look at to see, like, okay, I'm gonna emulate this, or this is my journey, or in the next 5 to 10 years I want to be on a silver screen? How do you measure yourself against, or do you?
I honestly, to be truthful, like, I don't really. I watch their films but I don't study them. Okay. That's something my dad would always be like, playing basketball, right? Yeah. Like, you gotta watch basketball to know how to do things right. And I'd be like, but I hated watching basketball. I wanted to play. I guess I'm still like that same way. Like, I'd rather get out there and just do the work. But their stories are key. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order to do things successfully and to do them well. But I'm a firm believer as an individual, if there's something that you want to do, God already gave you the vision. God already gave you the path. And that's something that I used to have to ask for so much confirmation. Like, God, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? And he reached a point with me where he was like, I'm done confirming for you. Just do the work. I gave you the mission. Get the work done.
That's so good, yeah.
Because, like, once I started to just do the work, everything else fell in line. And I think that in this current season, making a short film isn't the main mission right now. Like, and that's the blessing of the foresight that God has given me. He's like, you got to take care of this and this and that and the other first. And once you do that, then you will have the freedom to do the thing that you want to do. And it's like, for me, I'm obedient in that sense where it's like, I'm not going to keep on trying to, push it. Because in the sense of, like, as a creative, we always think about gear. We always want the new this, the new that. And I had this camera on the wall that I wanted after all these years. Literally just made the purchase like 2 days ago.
Okay, nice.
So it's like,
congratulations.
Thank you. So, like, I feel like as I reached that point to where I have that camera, and it's really not about the camera. That's one thing I really want to be true. Like, people who get into this, they're like, oh, as long as I get this device or this camera or this or that or the other, then I'll be good. That's not really the thing. But for me, there was like my vision board, right? And I had this vision, like, once I get this, then that's where it's going to open up the door for all these other different things, and opportunities to come into the plate. So I'm excited to where I know in a year from now, once things are running more autopilot, because it's a huge transition from changing to where you're doing everything to where you're letting a team in to the, everything, because now I have to write down all the things that I would just keep in here. And it's crazy how much information that you kind of hoard in your mind when you're doing things by yourself to when you start to, like, get it down on paper. You're like, damn, I forgot I knew that. And a lot of things to where you've been doing it for so long, you forget all of the things that you know. So when you're teaching somebody, you may just be having a normal conversation. They're like, damn, you dropping a lot of jewels. And I'm like, oh, I mean, that's the first thing I think about whenever I'm, 100%. Doing this thing, right? Yeah, the surface. But ultimately, it is, to segue back, Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, their inspirations just in the fact of, like, it's confirmation to me that it's possible, right? All of us as humans, I don't want to put anybody on a pedestal, but I know that I'm not on a pedestal either. Like, I feel like we're all level playing field, regardless of, where we're at. So it's just like, if somebody does something, it just shows me, like, it's possible. And I think that's the number one thing with any person, like, realizing, like, it just takes time. You may have to learn some stuff. You may have to grind it out and figure out, like, you may have to make a few mistakes. But as long as you don't stop, then it's going to happen.
I find that to be the truest thing, because I found that, like, as I was thinking about it this morning, as I'm doing all the things that I'm doing, I started praying, and I'm like, God, like, I just want to be a good provider. You know what I mean? And what does that look like? What does that mean? Because I am someone who, when it comes to my kids, I'm extremely militant. Even with myself, I'm really, like, some people, I would say this, like, some people look at me and they like, bro, I don't know why you, because I realize now in my life, and you said it a little bit earlier, but in my own words, there was a moment, so I'll be transparent with you. So I went to jail, right? So it was a moment when I was in jail. First time ever in trouble for anything. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is happening right now? Right? I mean, I'm at the, like, I'm the man out in Harrisburg. I own a gym. I'm a personal trainer. I'm, like, locally famous, right? and I make a mistake. It wasn't a mistake, honestly. It was, I just lost control of my emotions.
Right.
And so with that being said, I remember praying, and I'm sitting in there and I'm like, what do you want from me? Because I'm literally trying to do everything your way. I'm surrendering my life. Like a week prior to this situation happening, I was in prayer and I called Pastor Norris, my mother's husband, and I said, yo, I'm surrendering my life. I don't know what to do. He said, just know that things are going to they're going to get more narrow than they are. It's not like it's going to open up. That you're going to have all these opportunities. Things are going to get more narrow. You're going to have less opportunity because it's more intentional. And so with that being said, I remember the confirmation piece. He said to me, from this day on, I remember it was like a whisper. It was crazy. It was so clear though. He said, from this day on, count everything as a victory. And I was like, now mind you, where my environment is, I'm like, okay. So, right. Like, so I'm like, all right. So at this point, I'm convicted and I feel like I'm just like, whatever you asking me, I'm gonna do. Right. And so from that day on, I stopped asking for confirmation because I realized that even when I was going through something, he had already confirmed it for me 3 years ago. He already said, count it as victory. I don't have to tell you no more. I told you.
Exactly.
And then, so what I tell my kids is, when they're like, I'm like, first of all, you don't need to make a promise. You don't need to swear. Say what you say, mean what you mean. Right? So, and my whole thing is, if I'm telling you this is what it is, this is what it is. And I am allowed to change my mind. But this is where I'm at right now. Right? I don't need to promise or swear. So with that being said, in terms of building your company and striving, knowing and having that confidence that you are on the right path is really all you need.
The path itself is the confirmation. Like, and that's the beauty of God. Like, even though he said, I'm not giving you confirmation, him telling me that and just me staying the course, his grace still shows me confirmation, but it's like nuanced, right? Everything. And I think that's the beauty of it, right? Like, like, oh shoot, when you start to get off track, you're like, hold up. He already said, he already told me this. And so you're like, all right, cool, we good. And I think that's the beauty of like, when you are listening to what God tells you and you're obeying what he tells you, because, man, and being a dad, that's, I think being a parent is the toughest job in the entire world. Like, in the sense of like, just from when they're born to the sleep depravity that you go through to still having to wake up each day and make it happen and being present for them. I think those are some of the most difficult jobs because, your kids see when you're up, you see when you're down, they see you all your different things. There's no filter. They don't look at you the way the outside world sees you because you are able to, okay, let me make sure I present myself. Your kids see all of that. And I think it's so important that as parents, we allow them to, we actually open the door for them to see that part of us, because our kids are going to be us one day, in the sense of they're going to go through the things that we are dealing with and going through right now. It's important that they know how to deal with it. How do you get work done when you have 3 kids in the background screaming about an iPad that you're like, no iPad during the week, so why are you still bringing this up? Or no, you're not about to have no sweets and candy or ice cream or anything because you act crazy every time you get it. You have to learn that you're not going to get, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, then they'll be able to understand as they get older, because I understand the things that my parents did when they get older, right? Now that I'm older. But I feel like, and my kids, they're young too, so I mean, like, I'm still learning. I mean,
How old are your kids?
5, 3, and 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so crazy.
Yeah.
Every day is an adventure. But it's a beautiful thing because my daughter's the oldest, just like my sister. And I see me and both of my sons, but the relationship that my oldest and my middle child have, they are me and my sister. So it's like I get to see my oldest daughter. She always, I used to be like, why are you doing things that you know that's going to get you in trouble? Just like how my sister Brittany was. She would do things to get in trouble to show me this is what happens when you put Cheerios down the vent. And she getting a whooping. I'm like, I'm not gonna put Cheerios down the vent. That's exactly how my daughter is. She'll do things to where it's like, why we gotta keep doing this? And it's just, I have to remember, like, you know, they're kids though, right? We have to give them grace because God gives us grace. And it's just, all right, we gotta, you know, they gonna do kid stuff. Kids are gonna act like kids. They're going to do things. Yes, it's okay to let them have this ice cream this one time or this, you know, but it's just, it's fun to see them grow and to see them become their own people, because she's starting to learn she's starting to become more aware of the world around her. So she's starting to grow more in that sense.
And you said 5.
Yeah.
So I have a 9, 7, and 5-year-old.
So you same exact thing.
Yes.
2 years apart. Man.
And it's such an interesting space to navigate, because my 9-year-old, so my 2 girls are my eldest, and so the 9-year-old and the 7-year-old, they're actually only 15 months apart. So Sophia's going to be 8 in September. But there's a big maturity gap. Like Mia is so much more mature than Sophia in a lot of ways, and they're all very different. It's hilarious to see it, but like I mention that because navigating life with them, like they're my best friends, you 100%. Know, but I also, and they know, I'm like, I can't be your friend at this stage in life, right? I'm I gotta be your dad, and I have to be like dad 24/7 because I'm trying to install certain things inside of you
100%.
So that when you get to a certain age, I don't have to talk about it no more.
Exactly.
Now we can be friends. But today,
now,
we can't be friends. You know what I mean? So, but they are my best friends. They're my, and so it's interesting navigating life beside them because, you know, I think us people in our age gap. I saw this video yesterday. It was like, it's crazy. Like, who let us become parents?
Jeez.
Right. Like, so
I feel like a kid myself.
Yeah, like, so it was, the video was hilarious because it was like the mom was like, you go in your room. She said, if you slam that door, I'm gonna slam your butt, right? And then they close the door
and they start cracking.
And they start, you saw that. So I'm like, that's literally
so I can't keep myself serious. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I don't take nothing serious.
What are you doing? And then you walk out the room, you're just like, oh gosh.
Like, come on, man, what you doing, bro? Yeah, like I don't even be mad, but I gotta be mad.
And when my wife, when she yell at the kids, and I like have to turn around because I'm like over here, like let me walk out the room real quick because I'm over here getting weak. And if they see me, it's gonna tear it all down.
It's gonna, oh man.
And then it's hilarious. Like my oldest, her name is Micah.
Okay.
And she catches herself trying to like be mom and tell her brother, I'm like, chill out. You at the same level as them.
100%.
She always like, Amari, I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
You're not about to do that.
Yeah.
And she be just cracking me up. But they're hilarious though, man. Kids teach you a lot about yourself.
They teach you a lot.
And I think that's so much so. But it's a beautiful thing, man. I wouldn't have it any other way.
What is your proudest moment? Not even just as a parent, but just what have you accomplished in this time span of your life? How old are you now again?
I'm 33.
33. So, you're about 2 years older than me. So in this life, I mean, I feel like 31 is young, but at the same time, it feels old sometimes.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like I haven't accomplished a thing.
Man.
Right?
I mean, look at what you have here, man.
Yeah.
Like, so my biggest accomplishment is always my children. You know, I always feel like that is the reason that I do everything, right? That's why I send them to the school I send them to. That's why I work as hard as I do. Everything is for them. They are my greatest investment, my greatest gift. Everything that I'm doing is for them. So, like, seeing them grow, seeing them become the people they are, and just watching how anything that I do, they like want to emulate. Like that is like man, like okay, I'm teaching. I can see like all right, they are on the right path. Like watching them grow and do the correct things. That's what is my greatest like accomplishment. As far as like business, just being able to grow. Really, I mean, I'm living it right now, right? Growing the business to the point it's at, making the connections, and just being able to deliver when my clients need something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that's always a blessing. And I think a lot of times we get so caught up in this job, this gig, that gig, or whatever the case may be, that we don't take the time to just appreciate it. But I always am very like grateful, because it's like, you always get to the point like, all right, I got like 10 projects on the table. I need to get them all done so I can be, and it's like, but once you get those 10, then it's going to be 20 more that come. So it's like, learn how to just be in the mix, learn to trust and love the process, because the process, it only continues to grow and expand. Because if it does stop and you reach that point, you're going to be like, oh shit, how we going to pay this? So it's like, just realizing like, okay, I got to continue on just being in the thick of it. And it's just going to get, you know, more complex as, you know, we continue to grow. But
who's the biggest or most like proud person you've worked with?
Man, I mean, my wife, and she told me like, hey, I'm gonna start helping you do all this with your business, help you grow it and everything like that. And she was like, hey, a few days passed by, she's like, I didn't realize that you did all this. Like, you're the salesman, you're the, you know, doing all the technical stuff, you're doing the back end tech stuff in order to get things up and growing and rolling and doing all this different stuff. And she said, you're wearing all these hats. And she said, I would get mad at you before when you would be like taking a nap during the middle of the day or something. And I was like, she was like, I just want you to know I'm proud of you because of all of the things that you've been like doing over these years that I had no idea. Because I feel like when one person's working at corporate and somebody's doing like a creative business or any type of, you know, entrepreneurial effort, the pay isn't consistent. As an entrepreneur, you may have a month where you make, you know, 20, 30,000. And you may have a month where you making 200-300. And you're like, all right, we're gonna figure this out. But
that's real.
With the corporate role, it's like, you know, every 2 weeks what's coming. You like, this is coming every single 2 weeks. And it really made me feel like, all right, like, I'm glad first, I'm sorry that you think that I was out here being lazy, right? But I'm glad that you understand the reality of it now.
That's a beautiful thing.
And but that for sure. But outside of, you know, I mean, I know that my parents are proud of me. Like, and that's another thing that really is a blessing, because like the fact that both my mom and dad at certain points have been like, I'm proud of you. You know, like when you're a kid, you're like, whatever that means. But as an adult, it's like, that brings fulfillment to me, and it allows me to be like, all right, I know that they're proud of the things that I'm doing and what I'm building, and that everything that they taught me is the only reason I'm in that position. Right? I think both my mom and my pops, man, like what they had to go through to get us to the point, like both of them had children as teenagers, and to all the things that they instilled in us and all my brothers and sisters, right? I'm the baby. I was 2 brothers, 2 sisters. And all of us, like, they instilled so much in order to get us to the point that we're at now. And it's like a blessing to like look back on and be like, man, like, how did y'all do it? Because I think about like, if I was the age they were when they had us, I'd be like, I wouldn't be who I am now. My kids probably would be like, I'm not really trying to fool with you or whatever. Because when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, I wasn't worried about, you know how it is.
But at the same time.
But you grow up, right?
Yeah, I think, like we said, like kids, they bring something out of you. And I'll if I'm being honest, you know, my kids, I've always been extremely important to me, but I had no idea what I was doing for a long time. I felt like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm finally like,
I feel like there's no point when you're actually ready to have kids. Right. And I say that like being in the game for a little bit. You've been in longer than me, but even when you have them young, or people who are 40 and they like, we'll have our first kid or whatever the case may be, you still not ready. Even if you have the financial thing, there's a maturity level. Like, and people who, I say this to every person that doesn't have kids, you take advantage of sleep and you don't really understand how rested that you are as an individual when you don't have kids. Because when you have kids, every morning is 5 a.m. they can go to sleep at 4:59. They waking up at 5 a.m. and they like, how are you even rested? It's like they have sleep reserves. The sleep reserves they have are like, I have no, like I'm running on coffee.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
listen, for real though. Yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
It is, but that's the thing about like, being a parent and learning and appreciating my parents through that journey has been like one of the biggest lessons. Like it makes sense to why things were the way they were.
Yeah.
So.
So what's next for you? How can we get involved? How can I get involved? Right? With what you got going on. I'm a creative individual, and I think I find myself wanting to be around. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was with, I don't know, Sway.
Yeah.
Yep. So we were together yesterday. Shot, did some photo shoots for this drop that he's about to do in collaboration with the Rubber Ducks. And so we did a shooting there. My point is, I don't model, but you need a model. I'll model. I just want to be involved. You know what I mean? Because I just love the space that we're in. So how can I be of service to you, help you, and then what do you have coming up next?
Man, I mean, honestly, the number one thing that you can do for me is just keep doing what you're doing, because it adds brand value and authority to every connection that you make. As long as you keep going and I keep going, we are going to benefit each other. Because it's going to be like, oh, I remember when Mike was on More Coffee, Please. Is Media Beyond Frame still a thing?
Yeah.
And then they'll go and be like, oh shit, my man's just, what is he doing now? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just that on the base level. But as you want to continue to get into this stuff, bro, it's nothing but a call or a conversation, or if I have opportunities where I'm needing somebody up here, it's nothing but hey, bro, can you hop in here, help, facilitate this relationship for me so I can, before I get there, like those type of things. I'm always in the realm and room of, collaboration. Yeah. Because when we collaborate, we can go so much farther because there's knowledge and experience that you bring to the table that I don't even have access to, right? And the same thing with you. Like if there's things that you back in Columbus, you're like, hey, I need help with this or that or the other. It's nothing but a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? And I truly mean that. Yeah. Because that's how we grow. Yeah. That's how we get to the next level. I have tools and, experiences that can help get you 3-4 years ahead just because I had to learn that and go through that grind that 3 to 4 years.
100%.
But yeah, man, I mean, anything. Yeah. Anything that, whether that's gear, or whether it's, just, oh yeah, try this on this edit or whatever the case may be. It's nothing but a conversation.
And with that being said, I want to go back before we get off here. Yeah. The photo walk. I was so down in Atlanta. There's a spot called Coffee Was Black. Is it Coffee Was Black? Well, it doesn't really matter. So Coffee Was Black is like a cafe. Yeah. Caribbean inspired cafe, and then Portrait Coffee is the roaster that they use. Now the reason I mention all that is because they did something called like a wonder walk or something like that. Yes. Right, where they walk and they take pictures and things like that, and I'm like, we should do that here. Yeah, we should do that. Right. So
you got to document the story of your neighborhood.
We should do that.
I think we 100% should. Yeah. Just to piggyback off of that, our people, especially, our history is being erased, especially within this administration that's going on right now. Yeah. And it is so extremely important that we take the time and the energy to document our stories and do it authentically. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the way that the stories have been told in the past. Yeah. But just document it. A simple picture of a street or a street light or your street sign, or you see a sea of people at an event, and just capture those moments and write something down about it, because we're being stripped of our stories, man. And I think it's so important that we document them in a way to where we remember them. Yeah. And talk about the stuff that's going on in the world right now. Yeah. Talk about it and just document it. It doesn't have to, and don't just do it to put it online. Like, I think it's create an archive and just start putting things in there. It can be for you and your family, or it can be for internet if you want it to be there. Yeah. But just create for the sake of archiving what's going on and documenting it, because as things continue, we don't know our job as steward of the Lord's mission for us, right, is to do what the Lord told us.
Yeah.
He's gonna take care of the world.
Yeah.
Right? But we have to take care of the things that we're supposed to take care of. So I'd always, God also told me, especially, every single day is a news cycle. You hear about who, and it's like that can drive you insane.
Yeah.
If you get so caught up of what's going on in the world, what's going on everywhere else. Yes, you have to have some, knowledge and understanding of what's going on, but ingratiating yourself in it will drive you crazy. So it's like, yes, you can look over here and see what's going on, but stay on course to what it is you're supposed to do. And tell your story, because your story is going to, you don't know who it can help, who it'll inspire. But yeah. And then I think your second part of your question is what's next, right?
Yeah.
What's next is, so much from the sense of like the growth in the business, but outside of that, like, man, I actually got into golf about a year ago, and I love it. So more time on the golf course, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll have to get together.
Yeah, you play?
We'll do that a little bit.
I'm trash, but
I'm with you on that.
I'm getting better.
I'm an athlete.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
It's a fun sport, but what I love about that is just it reminds me so much of basketball, and I appreciate it because I was so. People would probably watch this like, you front, but nah, y'all know. I was really good at basketball. And to go from a space where you're really good at something to really trash at something is so humbling, but it's also fulfilling because that I know if I work hard and keep pushing myself and put the time in that I can become, I'm not gonna say great at it, but I can become mediocre at it.
Yeah.
And, but it's just, I think that's one thing, like, what I hope the future holds is doing that, traveling, spending time with my family and watching them grow. Yeah. And just taking trips with my wife, enjoying the time that we have here together, man. Because, I want to teach, it's not to be selfish, but I want to make sure that the 5 people in my household are, mentally, prepared for the world that's to come, and they can critically think, because one day I'm not going to be here. Yeah. And that's something I've learned through life. Like, death has touched my family so many times. And I've learned that, like, through it all, like, I need to prepare my children for when I'm no longer here. Yeah. And, one day my grandchildren and so on and so forth. But I think it's just important that we as individuals stop worrying so much about the chaos of today and keep on working towards tomorrow, but still remain present. Yeah, right. It's a lot of like nuance in that. Yeah, I get it. But it's we have to learn how to just appreciate the moment, but also just have foresight of what we're doing and appreciate it all.
It's beautiful, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
This has been
Thank
real
you
good,
for having me, bro.
Oh man, 100%. Do this anytime.
Hey. For real. For real. I love the space.